or you're intimidated by cutting crown, look no more. We're going to take a 1/2-inch piece of plywood, this is a scrap piece, make a 5-minute jig that's going to make your life easier. I don't care what the crown is. You pick it up, you want this crown for your house, you're going to make a jig to match it, and it's going to work perfectly. This jig is going to allow you to make odd angles that are very difficult in normal circumstances. What about this? I know the average person wouldn't have dreamed they could make something like this, but I'm going to show you how to make it real easily with this tool. Now we need to determine the size of this. When you set it up on the wall, how high it goes to the wall and how far it goes on the ceiling, or vice versa. So what we're going to do is take a piece of tape and set down here. And we'll take another piece of tape and, well, I don't know if I'm wide enough. Let's bring it out a little bit. And we'll put a piece of tape up here. You look at your crown, and this is going to be the bottom of my crown on here, okay? So I'll take the bottom and set it against the fence. Once you set it against the fence, you make sure that it's tight here and here, where it's flush. If it's flush there and there, you can mark it right on this fence. Then you mark it right down here. Now we get this measurement from here and this measurement from here, and we know what size we need. 3 inches here. 3 inches here. First we want to cut the length of this plywood. I don't want something really big, so we'll make it, let's say 12 inches, 1 foot. This measurement needs to be 3 by 3. So what we're going to do is cut one of them 3 inches, and this is 1/2-inch plywood. So this one, the back is going to be actually 3.5 inches because I have to make up for this. So we're going to rip this one at 3.5, this one at 3, and then finally we have this little one right here. I'm going to go ahead and make this one 7/8 of an inch wide, and you'll see why I'm going to do that in a minute. So let's go ahead and do these first. We'll start off with 3.5 inches. 3.5. This one's going to be 3 inches. I won't even need to use this. If I want to, I can, but I can take it off of this part. I'm going to take it down to 7/8 of an inch. Set it up right up against the edge here. And I'm going to put it to the edge where I can get my nail gun on here. I'm using 18 gauge nails. For this, you can use whatever you want, but these work fine. It's 1.25 inch nails. Get it right on the end. Okay, now we're going to take this piece here. We're going to tack it right across the top. So I'll put a little glue on here. I'm going to go flush with the back end, let it hang over the front end. This is a 90-degree turn. Whenever you make a 90-degree turn, you have to have your miters set at 45 degrees to match and go 90. This is 45 and this is 45. You add them together, you have a 90-degree turn. If you want a 45-degree turn, you go 22.5 and 22.5. You add those two together, and that is a 45-degree turn. So when I put this transition piece in here, it goes 45 degrees, and then this one is going to have to go 45 degrees again to go back into the wall. It's that simple. So you'll make a 22.5 right, a 22.5 left, a 22.5 right, and a 22.5 left. And then this is flat. We're going to set the saw up at 22.5 degrees. We're making an outside cut, just like this. You see how easy it cradles it? I just take it, slip it in there, and it locks in place. This is going to be my little transition piece. So I'm going to go ahead and make my miters from here. I'm going to take it right on the edge of this and go that way to make another 22.5-degree angle. So we'll switch it over. Now, when I do this, you want to make sure you get right on that line. That's my transition piece. I'll set that on the side. Now I'm going to make another cut over here, 22.5 degrees, outside cut. We almost have it done already. There's my transition piece. Now I just need to return and come straight back. So what I'll do is make it on this side. We have to make the left side. We take it the same way, slide it in here. Now I'm going to move over to the other side of the saw. This is going to go against the wall. So let's glue them together. Whenever you're doing little returns like this, you want to use a good CA glue. This is 2P10 by Fast Cap. I really like this glue. It comes in two parts. So what I'm going to do is spray this. And then this piece is going to have to glue on there. So I'm going to put glue on this side. You're only going to have a few seconds to work with it, so make sure you're careful and you line this up. I like to get it where I can set it on something with something this small. And I hold it together for about 10 seconds. Once you do that, it's great. Now we'll take my next piece and we're going to glue it here. So we'll spray it again and we'll glue this piece. I'll hold it in place for about 10 seconds again. There you go. You just made a fancy corner. Super easy. Anybody can do this. If you're wondering what you would do with things like this, a transition like this is going to help you end into the wall. So you could do this at a 90-degree turn, one cut, or you can do it rounded like this. And I think this gives a really great look when I stop here and I start back over there, because I don't want this crown molding to go underneath that, of course. This is going to give a really cool look. Well, they have a number of different companies that make tools for cutting crown molding, but most of them come with a protractor or tell you you need a protractor in order to find the angle. You have to know what the spring angle is. The spring angle is the angle that this sits off the wall. Now, if this sits here, and this is my 90-degree turn, on this particular crown, it's 45 degrees here, and then this is also a 45-degree cut. So when you set it on there, it sits just right in the corner. If you have 38-52 or 52-38, your crown will sit different ways. It'll either sit this way or this way. And you have to know what that spring angle is with other tools. With this tool, you don't even have to know what the spring angle is. It can be anything. It's going to work properly. That's why this tool is so easy to use. This is why I'm telling you I made these tools for the DIYer. It's great for contractors too, because it will save you a lot of time. But the average DIYer now can cut crown without any worries. I also made this one. I specifically made this tool to cover everything from 6 1/4 inches on down. But if you have 7 1/4 inch crown, you could easily make this a little higher. And on my original design, I had this to where it would slide up and down to accommodate that. But if you just wanted to make a fixed piece, you make it a little bit larger and it's going to accommodate a larger crown easily. With these quick clamps, you can set it up in seconds. Now I just take my piece, I set it on here, and it accommodates this size crown. I use this tool to put my crown up here in my tray ceilings. And then next, I'm going to wrap this whole room with it, and I'm going to show you some other tricks while using this tool. Well, that's it for now. Check out paulstoolbox.com for all my archive videos, and also check out my favorite tools on there. This is made by Mega Pro. It's their 15-in-1 screwdriver. This is the automotive version. They make the best screwdrivers that I've ever used. I promise you, you won't go wrong with them. Megapro.net is where you can check them out, or you can go to paulstoolbox.com. I will see you guys on the next project. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you found this useful, hit like for me.